Earlier on in this week, we talked about this particular situation. An 82 million rand school in Tembisa is standing empty while pupils are being taught in containers and Wendy houses. This is because the provincial government has not been able to get an occupancy certificate as it was built, the school that is, was built in a waterlogged area. One South Africa's Musi Maimane says government must account for the injustice. He is set to visit the school today. Let's take you live now to eNCA's Aviwe Mtila, who is there at that school. So Aviwe, earlier on we had a conversation with the chairperson of the legislature committee on infrastructure development, and we were just really talking about the school infrastructure, the building standing empty, and I suppose that's just half the story, because the other half is where you are, where as a result of the failure on the one end of building a proper school in proper land, the pupils are suffering. What's the situation where you are?
I must say, Bratulas, it's a state-of-the-art school here. I'm going to ask my colleague, Masilo, just to show you briefly my Aviwe primary school, essentially. It's a state-of-the-art school, and it's really in good condition, the building itself, windows all intact. But if you were to be at the school, what will greet you is stench, basically, even before you go inside the gate, the stench that you'd smell there off the sewage itself. And then as you walk in, you'd be greeted by basically the sewage itself, the water, basically, as you walk in. My colleague now is showing you the visuals just around the school itself. It's got 2 tennis courts, essentially, which are a lot waterlogged as they are. I did a little tour with the caretaker here, showing me some of the issues, mentioning that the sewage problem is just right up on the fencing there, where about 3 different areas are infected by pipe bursts that have essentially then filtered through inside the school. The school itself, the stench, it's difficult just standing here where I'm at the moment, as the stench is engulfing me at this very moment. And as you walk through the school, you'll see the grass, a lot of it fertile, quite green itself, I'm assuming because of the sewage itself. The tennis courts, the water just everywhere. You can see the patches as if it's patches of a map, basically, of water inside this Aviwe primary school. We're expecting one SA's Musi Maimane to be here. We were promised at 11, then 11:30. We're still just waiting for him to get here, for him then to do the tour and tell us why he's here specifically.
So from what you can see, Aviwe, this is an issue of the sewer line, perhaps due to lack of maintenance, I don't know, or, the fact that it's being used by more people than was originally designed for. I'm speculating, obviously, here. But I'm asking whether this has to do with the sewer line and the problems there, or is there another natural swamp situation that is happening? Because earlier reports had indicated that this was a wetland, but it seems to me that the problems have to do with sewer infrastructure.
Yes, those are the reports that we've also heard. And upon our just brief inspection with the caretaker here, we saw, in fact, just around the school, the sewer line issue here. We were actually in the process of setting up an interview with the MEC of Infrastructure Development, just to find out exactly what the issues here are of the school. You understand there are no children. We're told for the last 3 years since the school has been complete. We want to understand from the MEC what exactly are the issues. We understand there are, the caretaker telling me that there were issues with the contractors as well. You'd understand from the interview that you had with the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Infrastructure and Development, Paul Modise, who said they initially wanted to lay criminal charges against the officials from the Department of Infrastructure Development, as well as the contractors, all contractors, but they were advised upon writing a letter to the Premier via the Speaker. They were advised then just to start with a committee inquiry. So it will be quite interesting to see what will happen here. But we ourselves are in the process of setting up that interview with the MEC to find out exactly what the issues are here at the school.
Tasnim Motara, it's not Tula Sizwe Simelane, it's not Aviwe Mtila, it's not eNCA, it's the people that you serve in Tembisa that deserve the answers. 3 years, a school standing empty there. 82 million rand it was built with that money. Aviwe, I want to ask you one more question as we talk about the, the issue of the MEC coming to the fore and answering to some of these questions, really not just to you and I, but to the people that she serves, the people whose children are supposed to be at that school. Speaking of those children, what's the learning conditions then while that school lays idly there in that particular area?
Well, not far away from here, just about a kilometer even, or 500 meters, is where the children are at the moment. They're being taught in containers. We were there just a bit earlier on, where the Mabuya Primary, now the children, the education is taking place. You can see this facility here, Bratula's 82 million rand facility in good condition, where the children are supposed to be taught at this very moment. But at the current state, they're being taught down the road in a facility, an area filled with containers there, where they're currently taught at the moment.
All right. Aviwe, thank you for that. And, to their credit, the Gauteng Department of Infrastructure Development and the Department of Education, the quality of the schools they have been building in the last few years, is really commendable in some of the township areas. They really do build state-of-the-art facilities in most instances. It's just that this time around, it boggles the mind how that school came to be built in that particular area. And Tasnim Motara, the people deserve answers. If for some reason, I don't know, you don't think eNCA deserves answers, the people you serve, at the very least, deserve answers.